Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Laura is an evil, psycho, hoarding bitch.
She says her stepmom needs to move out.
Do you think she's a hoarder?
Oh, I know she is. She hoards animals, too.
Laura has about 53 animals living in our house.
Did you call animal control?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm going to.
Her dad is fed up.
I've moved into the garage.
Most of the time, you're not sober.
He's sober right now. Let him talk.
You need to mind your own business.
This is my business.
And the house is disgusting.
It is no way to raise a child in that squalor.
I will be there for that baby.
Well, if you're going to be there for that baby, then get a front-end loader and clean that house out. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, I received an urgent email just last week from 23-year-old Jessie saying she was at her breaking point and desperate for help because she has been living with an evil psychopath since she was 5 years old. Now, Jessie is talking about her stepmother, Laura, who she claims recently attacked her in front of her 14-month-old baby. Now, Jessie claims she is forced to live in a dirty, disgusting house because she says her stepmother is a hoarder who even hoards animals. She has 53. 5 dogs, 3 cats, 2 snakes, 1 sheep, 2 rabbits, and at least 40 mice. But Laura says Jessie is just a spoiled brat who makes up everything about her, and she is the reason why she is now just the insignificant other to Jessie's father. Now, Jessie says she is here at the show for one reason and one reason only: for me to help her get that woman out of the house and out for good. This is what she has to say. Take a look.
My dad's girlfriend, Laura, is an evil, psycho, hoarding bitch. There's so much stuff that you can barely get through this. The house is absolutely disgusting. I'm sick of living this way, and it's all because of Laura. My dad is so fed up that he has moved into the garage. The only clean parts in the house are my room and my bathroom. As you can see, kept clean. My dad is very non-confrontational. It's easy for my dad to tell me to ignore her, but I'm the one who's stuck in the house with her all day. Laura hasn't worked a single day in the 16 years that I've known her, and my dad pays for everything. She's been manipulating my dad since day one. She has completely brainwashed my little sister. She can't manipulate me, and I think that bothers her. In the beginning, she was all excited about being a grandma, but after that, she just went back to being a bitch. I'm in a program that helps out first-time moms. The nurse assigned to me was coming to my house. I completely spaced out and I forgot about the appointment. That's when Laura decided to try and get my baby taken away from me. Laura told the nurse I let my child cry for hours, that she constantly is falling off the bed and had bruises all over her face. CPS did an investigation, and after 30 days, they closed the case. I love my dad, but I'm very disappointed in how long he's let her destroy our lives. Like, Dad, you're living in the garage. When are you gonna realize that she's not gonna leave on her own? You need to kick her out.
This is your house?
Yes. Mine and my dad's.
Okay, so you're living with your dad.
Yes.
So it's his house?
Yes.
So you're wanting to kick her out of your dad's house?
Yes.
Because she's turned it into a pit?
Yes.
And she doesn't work?
Not a single day since
Okay.
I've known her.
Does she clean? Or, I mean, because you go to work, right?
Well, I was going to work until I had my baby, and then I had to stay home with her, so.
You don't work?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. And how old's your child?
She's 14 months.
And you have a sister?
Yes.
And she's 16.
Yes.
Does she work?
No.
And Laura doesn't work?
No.
And you don't work,
Nope.
but your dad works,
Yes.
and he lives in the garage,
Yes.
and it's his house.
Yes.
So the only guy that's working is living on a cot in the garage?
Yeah.
So you think she's a hoarder,
Oh, I know she is. She definitely is.
and the house is disgusting.
Yes.
So what are we looking at here?
This is all of her hoard and
We're like,
crap.
where is this?
Yeah, that's outside where the dogs are at. She hoards animals too.
Laura says Jessie is just a disrespectful, entitled daddy's girl who is used to getting her way. Let's hear what Laura has to say.
My stepdaughter Jessie is unpredictable, snotty, and entitled. My issue with Jessie started 10 years ago. John walked into Jessie's bedroom and told her she didn't have to listen to me anymore because I wasn't going to be there very long. As a young child, John gave her everything she wanted. All Jessie has to do is say something and John will do it. If John stopped enabling Jessie, she would grow up and stop being lazy. When Jessie was 16, she started staying out all night. At 19, Jessie's temper tantrums turned into drunken rages. John will avoid a confrontation with Jessie and attack me, saying, "Why do you care? Why do you want to get involved? Why do you have to stick your nose in it?" My main issue with Jessie now, she does not care for the baby when the baby needs caring for. Jessie will spend time on her phone when the baby's crying, and I go in to offer help, and she's like, she's fine. She's just throwing a temper tantrum. I don't believe she's interested in anybody's advice, but most importantly, not mine. I don't believe Jessie is able to parent a 14-month-old child.
Well, Laura and Jessie's biggest fight was over the baby, ultimately ending in Jessie taking out a personal conduct order against Laura.
Just last week, my little sister Angelina offered to feed my baby breakfast.
We put her in the high chair. She was grunting and whining.
After 10 minutes, I hear my daughter screaming. So I sent my boyfriend in. My boyfriend saw Laura holding down my baby's arms and Angelina force feeding her. And he asked Angelina, why is she crying? And she said, because she doesn't want to eat, so we're making her.
And I said, no, she's fine. You guys taught her how to scream like this, and we know what she wants.
So I go out there, took her tray off, and started unbuckling her.
And Jessie comes storming out, takes the high chair tray off, throws it.
Laura started pushing me and saying, no, no, don't touch her. And I was like, what? Like, that's my baby.
She starts swinging at my head. She was holding on to the baby, so when I grabbed her arm, she threw the high chair over, and the baby fell.
And that's where I lost it. And I just started pushing her back, and I was just swinging because I was angry. You just tried to hurt my baby.
And she hit me in the temple about 6 times. She ripped my shirt. I pulled her hair.
I only hit her face once.
I grabbed her arms, crossed them over her, and pinned them to her chest.
She had my hand so tight against my throat that I was almost choking.
And then she started screaming bloody murder.
When the police showed up, they said, I can't get a restraining order because she lives in the same home as me. I had to get a personal conduct order. The order states that Laura cannot harass, intimidate, attack, strike, threaten, hit, or assault me or my baby.
The sheriff came and determined the situation was the case of a mother not taking care of her baby.
Okay, thank you for being here. So you two got in a fight about the baby, literally over the baby, with the baby right there.
Correct.
What the hell are you thinking?
It didn't happen exactly like that.
I did not touch her. I did not say a word to her. I went to get my child. And I have the right to do that. When I went out there to get her, she started attacking me. And then she pushed the high chair over.
She took the tray off, she threw the tray, and she's going like this trying to get the seatbelt off the baby. And I turned around from pouring the drink. I said, she's fine.
So you
She can
admit you
communicate-
had
so
the
she can
limeade in your hand
communicate
when
with
I
us.
walked out there, not when
And
he
I
walked out
said,
there, because
well,
you were holding her hands down
so
when
she,
he walked out there.
I leaned over to tell her that, and she went like this, holding the seatbelt. She swung at my head, hit me about 6 times, and the high chair fell over. Not once did she check on what happened to the baby.
Well, that's 3 minutes of my life I can't get back. Seriously, do I look like I care who held the limeade? What I am concerned about is that you two grown-ups are having a physical fight in the presence of a 14-month-old baby. Shame on the two of you. Coming up, John, the owner of the house, well, he lives in the garage, but he pays for the house, says he does not have a romantic relationship with Laura and will never have a relationship with her again. So why is she still living in his house? And why is he not living in his house? I feel like I know what's wrong with these two. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. But we're going to find out after the break.
Laura likes to stir the pot. I've pretty much moved into the garage. I can't do this anymore. I want my house back.
And later,
I am also
video.
the only one that has said that I will be there with you no matter what for that baby.
you're going to be there for that baby, then get a front-end loader and clean that house out.
I tried.
4 years ago, Laura pushed me out of the house. One day, I come home, and all my clothes and belongings were in trash bags.
In reality, I collected her things in a room that wasn't being used when she had 2 sisters that needed to use that room.
I just took my things and I left. I figured that my dad had known what was going on, but I later found out that he had no idea, and Laura just took it upon herself. After about 3 months, I asked if I could move back home. My dad was completely cool with that. I did not ask Laura's permission because it's not her house and she has no say. How could she kick me out of my own house?
Well, Jessie told us she has had enough of Laura, whom she likes to call the evil stepmother. You did not invent that phrase. She said the last straw came last week after Laura and Jessie got into a physical fight. But Laura says the problem is Jessie, because she's spoiled, entitled, and think the world revolves around her. Now, caught in the middle for over 16 years is John. So what's he got to say about all this?
Laura's always had a certain amount of disdain for my children. Laura does not get along with Jessie most of all. She believes that she does everything wrong. Jessie is a real spitfire, so it's like oil and water. My ex is a psychotic, manipulative person. I resent that my kids or myself can't even feel comfortable in the house. I hate that my daughter and my granddaughter are banished to their room because of Laura's issues. She keeps the house that way for 2 reasons. 1, she's a hoarder, and 2, it serves the purpose of keeping everybody else out so she can commandeer the space. I think Laura puts everybody down to feel better about herself. She just likes to stir the pot. Although we've lived together for 16 plus years, I haven't had a relationship with her, much less sex, in at least 9. I've pretty much moved into the garage.
And this is where my dad is forced to sleep because of Laura.
After 16 years, I'm absolutely exhausted. I can't do this anymore. I want my house back and I want my kids back. I want her out. I want to reclaim my house. I wish she would get some help somewhere else. You know, she needs it.
Well, you've been listening to everything so far, so you've got to know what my first question is. What the hell are you thinking? What are you doing living in the garage?
I'll be perfectly honest. The bottom line is I've dropped the ball. I made a conscious decision to, not argue about things and try to make it a decent place to live. Well, now it's just snowballed into this. And
a decent place to live. Have you seen the pictures? This is where you live, right?
Yes.
You live on this couch in the garage.
Yes.
And the rest of the house, well, there's not a lot of room left in the house, is there?
No. Each one of the three
Here's the
bedrooms
house.
I
This is the
remodeled.
house.
She just cannot stop accumulating stuff.
Do you have a problem with hoarding?
No, I have a problem with getting rid of, not collecting to have. So I don't take the time to go
Do you have a problem
through
with
it.
semantics?
Sometimes, yeah.
That one of the reasons that you kept the house as a mess is to keep my friends out.
The
My
drunk,
drunken
only the
friends.
drunk people. I
have
don't care if
lots
the
of friends,
sober
but
people
you
come
wouldn't
in
know
and are
any of them
nice
anymore.
and they're not embarrassing to your
I have
daughter.
lots of friends
Do you ever
that
notice?
are great people, but you
do
would,
you ever
you
notice?
would have
talk for once.
You would have no idea.
I
No,
have a
that-
child to raise.
You put two
and
different
so
things together.
To keep them out of the
Hold
house
on,
keeps her in a safe place.
hold on. You have a child to raise
My 16-year-old.
in that squalor?
I do.
It is a fire hazard. It is a health hazard. It's a safety hazard at every level. It is no way to raise a child. You say
But-
you have a child to raise. I mean, let's look at
But
your
I do.
child's
I take
attendance
her-
record. This
I
is the
take her,
total of
yep.
classes missed in the 16-17 school year so far. Absent 386 classes.
Last year.
Tardy 40 times. In the 17-18 school year, that's the current year, 67 classes. And in tardy 2 times. She doesn't go. When she does, she's late. But how do you? What do you?
Most of those are medical reasons.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on! Unless she's in a coma somewhere.
Well, she's not.
Because she hurt her wrist.
She has multiple concussions. She's getting better. We're getting better. We've been doing it by ourselves. He's drunk
That's
most
a
of the
lie.
time.
He's been doing
She's
the program with you
manipulative,
guys.
so I can't even discuss anything with her with him if it regards her.
'Cause I call you out on your
It's
crap.
10 years.
Dr. Phil,
And that's why she won't.
Yes, I drink.
I don't.
I drink maybe a couple times a week.
And
Well, I don't know if you're drunk or what, but if you are, you better sober up and man up because you got a hell of a mess on your hands, buddy. All right. Coming up, Laura loves animals, but Jessie says things have gotten so out of control with Laura's 53 animals that she's embarrassed to bring her friends around. We'll be right back.
I believe she's hoarding animals.
I do not consider myself a hoarder.
Laura has about 53 animals living in our house.
I don't understand why Jessie and John think that all these pets are a problem.
And later,
we didn't move into the garage because of the stuff.
answer my question.
I don't know what to tell you.
Just answer the question. Because if you're not, just stop talking. Well, John's daughter Jessie emailed me asking for help getting her stepmother, Laura, out of her father's house. She says Laura has turned their home into a garbage pail. Take a look.
When Laura moved in with me, she slowly started bringing big plastic bins. Then it kept coming, and turned into an absolute hoarding mess.
I do not consider myself a hoarder. I just want to protect my stuff. I don't feel there's boundaries that are respected.
I also believe she's hoarding animals.
Laura has about 53 animals living in our house. 5 dogs,
4 cats, 2 bunnies.
here are the rabbits inside the house, 2 snakes, 3 tubs of mice. This one has baby mice in it. She also has a sheep and a fish.
That's less animals than we've ever had before. I don't understand why Jessie and John think that all these pets are a problem.
We have 2 full-grown huskies outside, less than 10-foot cord. It's hot and they always look sad. It's just disgusting.
2 weeks ago, I believe that John made a call to animal control. An investigator came out and she said everything was fine.
She has 2 miniature pinchers and a French bulldog that just completely run the house. Laura hoards the weirdest things like newspapers, bags of clothes. She probably has baby clothes still from her 28-year-old daughter. It's not healthy for the animals. It's not healthy for my dad. It's not healthy for me, my sister, and it's especially not healthy for my child.
Did you call animal control?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm going to.
I did.
I'm going to call.
They don't live like that. They aren't in a kennel all the time.
Anthony
But
Haskins,
they-
where are you? Before noon today, I want animal control cold call, and I want these animals reported, those dogs that are tied up on those leashes. I want that reported today. And if they don't remove those dogs today, I want to know it, and I want you to call until they do. Those dogs are being abused. You can't take those dogs and tie them up on those leashes.
We don't leave them on leash. We run them every couple. She said they can be tied out. They have lots of yard. He just didn't fix the fence.
Those dogs are going to get rescued. You ought to be ashamed of yourself tying those dogs up like that.
He said he's going to fix the fence for 3 years. We do not leave them. Angelina and I take care of them every day.
You should be ashamed of yourself tying those dogs up like that.
You brought them.
You know,
home,
it's
so
easy
we were
if I was
watching them too.
If I was able to manipulate the situation to make it look like, you know, what I wanted it to be, then sure, then those would all look good and everything. But you know, if I showed you the picture of her room, you wouldn't think it looked like it did in the picture. You know, John has allowed everything to happen. We got along fine until he started thinking I was picking on Jessie. Jessie has always been, poor me, poor me. We have 6 kids, and Jessie is the second to last. Angelina is the last. And she has always thought that John and I favor her over everybody else, and that's not true.
Dr. Phil, that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Well, you know, you can say that because most of the time you're not sober. Everything that has ever happened with Jessie,
right now. Let
don't you talk. It's my time. I didn't interrupt you.
Time, right?
You know what? Your time is coming.
It's right now,
Yeah,
right here. This is why I brought you here, because you have issues and you need to.
And you know why
realize
you don't like me? Because I am the only. You know what? I am the only one.
You've made my life
You know
living
what?
hell for
Stop.
16 years.
Okay,
That's
I
all.
need
You
to
stop
speak-
too.
I need to
I get
speak
to
for a
finish my
minute.
sentence.
Finish
You
your sentence.
don't like me because I am the only one that stands up to you. I am the only one that tells you when you're rude or disrespectful.
You just
but
took the
I
word
am
from my
also
video.
the only one that has said that I will be there with you no matter what for that baby. Through that pregnancy, with that baby, no matter whether or not I was with Dad. And you are the
Well,
one.
if you're going to be there for that baby, then get a front-end loader and clean that house out.
I tried. Dr. Phil, when
I believe she has a psychosis that I have not been able to deal with.
Because you're an alcoholic.
What the hell has that got to do with you doing what you're doing? Closed captioning provided by...
There was a time that I was kind of seeing someone. I would pick her up, we'd go play some pool. And then I found out that Laura was tracking me on my cell phone. Laura believes that we're still in a relationship, even though I sleep in the garage. Like most things, if she believes it in her head, then that is fact. I could never be in a relationship with Laura again. There's been too many unforgivable things that have happened.
This is a lot of things all into one, but this has nothing to do with me sticking up for Jessie over her or anything like that. This is a matter of, I believe she has a psychosis that I have not been able to deal with.
Because you're an alcoholic.
I have not been equipped to deal with. I already explained myself how I drink, and I have no problem with
Okay,
drinking.
and can I explain how you drink?
Just because you don't drink
No, I'll tell you what.
doesn't mean
Let's
that
stop
somebody
for a
that does
second.
is an
Let's
alcoholic.
stop for a second. Let's stop for a second because I'll stop for a second. I'm going to ask you this. Let's assume, for argument's sake, that he is a falling down, sloppy, blithering drunk. Let's assume that for argument's sake. I'm not saying that's true, but just for argument's sake. What the hell has that got to do with you doing what you're doing?
If I'm addressing...
That's your go-to. Answer my question.
If I'm addressing the things that I need to, as if the laundry and the things that are in the living room there that you see, or taking care of the animals, he always wants me to do something else. And I said, look, I'm taking care of this.
You're not answering my question. You're either going to answer that question or you're going to quit saying it, one of the two.
One more time. I'm sorry.
What does him being a falling down drunk have to do with you overtaking that house with trash and junk and making it so uninhabitable that it is a fire hazard, health hazard, and him having to actually move into the garage. What does him being a drunk have to do with your pathology?
He didn't move into the garage because of the stuff.
Answer my question.
I don't know. Guess nothing. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Just answer the question.
What I'm trying to say. He's controlling. I can't do what I need to do to get things done.
That could be more opposite.
No, listen.
Listen, if I need your help, I know right where you are.
See, and that's
Okay.
exactly it. Okay, for instance.
Answer my question.
For instance.
Are you going to answer my question? Because if you're not, just stop talking.
I'm sorry.
Are you going to answer my question?
Yes.
What does his pathology have to do with yours?
It gets in the way. I'd rather deal with my own pathology. I don't need to deal with his also. I know how to
Then quit
learn.
hiding behind his. Tell me what it's got to do with all of this. What does it have to do with you? You have a 16-year-old daughter you've got living in this mess.
I think it's more of a mess because we're not there. That stuff outside that's been there in the weather and stuff, that stuff has been there because it kept him out of my desk. There's a desk under there. That's my desk. They go through that. They go through my stuff. I can't leave the house for 10. Jesse went through all the cupboards and all the drawers, and I'm the one who's a bitch. I don't get it.
I was throwing out old baby food. I didn't know that was yours.
I don't get. I understand I have a lot to do, but I need to be left to do it. I can't stop to do what he needs me to do because I don't want to hear him yell. And he doesn't do it sober. He does it drunk. He does it when she whispers in his ear.
Okay, so you're doing this because he's drunk.
Doing that. I think I'm avoiding it because he's drunk, so it's getting worse as time goes on. Like I said, I don't collect stuff to say, okay, I want to fill this room with this. It's just that I don't go through it. He starts his episodes or whatever, and then Angelina's like, let's go. We don't need to be around this. Let's just go. We'll come back.
Coming up, John and Laura's 16-year-old daughter demanded to be here today because she has something to say. I'm going to give her an opportunity to do that when we come back.
Living with my parents, it is obvious they just don't get along. In elementary school, I can remember several occasions where my dad has threatened to kill my mom. At this point, I'm ready to walk away and never look back.
Closed captioning provided by...
After Angelina was born is when a lot of the drama really started. It was like Angelina and Laura against the world. Angelina is like God to Laura, and she favors her big time. I do not have a very good relationship with Angelina because she is a miniature version of her mother. Angelina is Laura's little puppet. She will say and do whatever Laura tells her to say and do. She is a manipulative little liar, just like her mom.
Jessie says that she and her 16-year-old sister Angelina have never had a good relationship. She and her father John believe that Angelina has been manipulated by her mother Laura. Now, Angelina wanted to be here today because she says no one ever listens to her, and she says she has something to say. So here's what she told us.
My sister Jessie is dramatic and manipulative. When just the littlest thing happens, she just blows it all out of proportion, and she thinks that everything is owed to her, and if she doesn't get it, she figures out a way to manipulate someone into getting it for her. When Jessie is around, we all tense up. Jessie gets overwhelmed with the baby crying, so she just lets her cry until she's so exhausted she can't physically cry anymore. Living with my parents, it is obvious they just don't get along. In elementary school, I can remember several occasions where my dad has threatened to kill my mom. To this day, the main reason I don't talk back to my dad is because I believe that he will hurt me and he will hurt my mom, especially if he's intoxicated. My dad acts inappropriately around my friends. I have friends who don't want to come over to my house because they're weirded out by my dad. He comes off as a pervert. At this point, I'm ready to walk away and never look back. I would never talk to my dad unless he was on his deathbed.
You're uncomfortable living in this house with your dad there. You'd rather be somewhere else?
Yes.
And you'd rather be with your mother than with your dad?
Yes.
Do you have a relationship with your father that has any positives to it?
Yeah.
Would you like to work on a relationship with him where the two of you could have a healthy relationship going forward?
Don't look at her.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. But what you want is for your mom to move and for you to go with your mother, right?
Yeah.
That's what you would feel best with. But then if you had an opportunity to build on a relationship with your dad that was healthy in some way, then you would like to do that, right?
Thank you.
If there's a way that you guys could work something out where...
I would give it one more shot. That's it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Would you support that?
As long as she wanted it, I would support it.
Do you think it's important for a daughter to have a good relationship with her father?
Yes, that's why I've been here all this time. And, you know, the
You
house
haven't
is
got a
a
job.
mess. You need to mind your own business right now.
This is my business.
And do you think
And
it's important that you not speak ill of him to your daughter?
Very important. I can't say that I don't do it sometimes, but
All the
and
time.
sometimes I'm angry and I'll say it.
And you recognize that this is off limits. You're not going to run this girl's mother down to her. You gain nothing there. Then you can work on a relationship with your daughter.
Yeah, honestly, that's the first I'd heard of those statements that she made. If you'd see us every day, you know, she's heading off to school. She's like, "Dad, I need lunch money." Okay, and you know, we say "love you" and kiss each other goodbye, and then I kind of a little miffed at where this is coming from. But
Well, you shouldn't be
I'm glad to
miffed.
hear it.
You shouldn't be miffed. You should really be honored that she is caring enough to
speak
tell
her
you the
mind.
truth about what really matters to her.
Yeah.
This is the most adult perspective I have heard since this conversation started. All right, coming up, Laura says John is just a money man. Well, she'll explain next.
I feel like I'm constantly being worked by Laura through Angelina when it comes to money. Every day she comes to me and says, "Mom needs some gas money and I need this thing at school."
My dad has an idea that he's being worked, but he has no idea the extent of how much he's being worked.
Laura knows that I have a better chance of giving money to Angelina because I can't trust Laura.
If I need to go to the store and get milk, he'll call Angelina over and he'll say, "You pay, bring me change, and don't let Mom have the money."
I'm sorry you've been put in this crossfire. You don't deserve this. Shouldn't happen. And if they don't have the maturity to tell you they're sorry, then let me tell you as an adult, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to live with this. They mean well, but they're behaving poorly. And your dad loves you very much. Your mother loves you very much. They're just letting their own agenda get in the way. And you're paying the price for it. And that needs to stop. And if they listen to me, it's going to stop. You two are living a sham of a relationship. You're just in denial. You need to move.
I do.
And you don't live this way for 16 years and just go home and change the locks.
It hasn't been, he hasn't been in the garage 16 years. We have, listen,
not what
I'm
he
sorry,
said.
I'm
Dr.
going to
Phil.
talk, and it doesn't matter. You could filibuster, but when you're done, I'm going to finish, so you might as well just let me finish. Because, I mean,
I don't
when
think
you're
it's being
done, I'm going
portrayed
to...
properly. When John and I and Angelina are together, you would never know we had any problems. It's when he drinks and he thinks everything's my responsibility. Jessie's never had a chore to do in her life. And I'm always
You used to
the
give me a
one-
list of chores and tape it on the inside of my bedroom door.
Those are your chores in your
When
room.
I was little.
I never
No, not
asked
in
you-
my room.
I never
In the
asked-
kitchen, in the
Anyway,
bathroom.
So
your crap.
my point is when John had Jessie come back, he gave her the master bedroom. And I said, you know, I was,
liking
She had a baby.
and the house was clean.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It was disgusting. You couldn't even stay in
This
your
is
own
why
room.
we don't get
Okay,
anywhere.
so you don't want to know what I think.
I'm sorry, I do.
No.
I just want you to know that it's.
You just
this
wanna
whole-
program me
this
first.
No, this 16 years has not been all of this.
I understand.
It hasn't been all of 16 years.
Is there something that you haven't told me that you feel like it's essential that I know? You just don't repeat yourself. Is there something that you haven't said that you
I
feel
don't
like
think John thinks for himself. I think he spends most of his time drunk, and then he listens to her whine.
Oh my God.
And before
then-
he
and
was
then-
Jacob.
stop,
and then-
stop. I said
Always
don't
somebody
repeat.
else.
No, I'm saying.
Will you
Sorry.
stop talking?
Sorry.
I'm saying
Just don't
that-
tell me something you've already told me. You have told me like 10 times he's drunk. You've told me 10 times that she whispers in his ear and he doesn't think for himself. Just don't tell me something you've already told me. Tell me something new and I'll listen.
I don't believe that his detachment from her and his relationship with her is my doing or her doing.
Didn't say it was.
And I don't think, and I think he resents me because she whispers in his ear that I'm keeping her away from him, and that, you know, that, okay, I'm sorry.
Tell me something new. Saying it 10 times doesn't make it any more true. It just says it 10 times. Is there something new you want to say?
If there is, I can't think of it now. So it doesn't matter.
Don't play the victim with me,
I know
lady.
I'm not. I'm just telling you I can't think of what it is.
Okay,
Okay.
then I'm going to come back in a minute, and it is my turn. Closed captioning provided by. Here's my advice. You two need to live separately. You need to take back your house, and it's not fair for you to live in this way all of this time and then just go home and change the locks and put her out on the street. That's not fair.
That's why.
And your daughter wants to be with her mother because she needs to have a chance to rebuild her relationship with you. And it is your responsibility to take care of your daughter. So you need to help a transition to get these two set up, hopefully nearby, in an apartment, in a safe area, close, part of town. She gets an opportunity to get a job. She gets an opportunity to get back in school. And you pick up the tab. I'll pick up the tab for that. I will get you an apartment for 90 days. I will pay the rent, I will pay the utilities, I will pay everything, so it doesn't cost anything. So you have a place to go, gives you 90 days to get on your feet, get a job, get things rolling, get her back in school, and take your house back over. And you need to clean that place out, reclaim it, fumigate it, get it right, and make it a home where a child can walk around, crawl around, be healthy, be happy. Yeah. And you two need to live separately starting right now, and I will make that possible for you. I will get you guys a place to live. I will pay for it, set it up, and get it done. Will you follow through with this?
Oh, in a minute.
Okay. And if you are medicating yourself with alcohol, then you need to pull your head out of your ass and the bottle and get yourself straightened up. I want to thank all of my guests today. Log on to drphil.com for more information on today's show. We'll see you next time.